Welcome to the CFG GameCast, episode number 89, a weekly podcast created by gamers and streamers alike to discuss the latest gaming topics from the previous week. We stream a new episode on Saturdays and release it on podcast services like Apple, Google Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, Podbean, and so much more. So show us some love. Give us a follow, a like, a comment, what have you on any podcast services that are currently out there, or go to our main website, confreaksandgeeks.com, to not miss an episode. I am Mr. CFG Games himself, Davis Green. And with me today, I got two awesome co-hosts. I got Lex in the second seat. What is going on, my cyborg?
Oh, not too much. I did a lot this week. Beat Mists of Aden. That was a cool indie horror game that I got done with mannequins. I'm just not a fan, and they got me.
Oh,
they got me good.
Mannequins are always the bane of all existence.
But they weren't just the mannequins. They were like the art, like what you would see in an art studio where like it's like the posable human body form, but it was life size. And I would turn around and it was like this creepy. Yep. He was. Oh, yep. But the storyline was interesting and it was cool. And it's made by literally just 3 people. That's it. And it was fantastic. It was previously called House on the Hill, but they had to rename it because Hasbro had a board game similar to that. Not really, but
not really. It
it's
exists.
2 different things, but I think the board game is called
House of Haunted Hill.
House on Haunted Hill is different.
Okay.
House on the Hill. Anyways,
okay.
Hasbro was like, too close to our name, change your name. So they changed to Mists of Aden. It was really neat. I liked it. And then we were playing some HSH Survive all week. I was supposed to play, we've been playing It Takes Two, like really late on Fridays with Ducky. Unfortunately, he was not feeling good. He was in the hospital this week. So everyone sent him some love. Ducky was not feeling well, so we didn't get to play. So I got an extra night off this week, which I was sad to have. But yeah, it was a good week. Not a lot of cyborg issues. We do have some crazy wind here in Vegas, so if I disappear, it's because my house blew away. So that's all.
Yeah, I figured as much.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
We have a cute new friend though. And I think she's did some really cool stuff this week. I heard from a little birdie. I don't know.
Yes. As you can see, we don't have Smitty. Smitty's doing his thing this weekend. So instead, we got a special co-host today. I got my very good friend Kallista Kaines from Kallista Kaines on Twitch TV, which you definitely should check her out. She does a lot of streaming and she also does reviews on Con Freaks and Geeks as well. So definitely check her out. But she will be our special guest this time. How are you doing, Kallista?
I am awake still. Normally, I would be, unconscious on the floor like around this time, but I put in some special effort to stay awake. But I'm all right.
How you're getting older. It's like, hey, it's Saturday night. We can stay up all night long and we'd be doing all our stuff and just having fun, video games, gaming all night.
No.
It's like it is 7:30 and you're just like, I need my sleep. I don't want to talk to nobody. I don't even want to dress up. Nothing. Just leave me alone. Just let me go to my bed. That's
you ain't wrong. You are not wrong whatsoever, because honestly, I would have been just waking up from my nap, which would have been maybe about 4 hours, which I don't take suggestions on how long a nap should be. It's 3 hours at minimum, and that's it.
That is very, very true.
You know what's sad?
Yes.
You said that last night. You want to know what I was doing? Playing Spider Solitaire, talking to a friend on Discord.
Oh my God. Like, how old can you get at that point?
I was playing on master mode and I'd go, oh, and she'd go, you lost? I'm like, yes. And I'd go
You're
back.
Solitaire. If you said spades, I would have been like, oh my God. Or no, free cell. If you said free cell, I would have been like, Jesus. Would have been like Windows 95.
Yeah.
Jesus.
That's what I played as a kid, and Flight Simulator. Like, those were like the first computer games.
Oh, don't forget Wishbone.
Shut up. Yeah, I don't fucking talk about it. You're grounded. Stop talking.
Oh, whatever. Oh, well, that's cool. So yeah, well, I'm glad you're here, Kallista. Thank you for stopping by. I really appreciate it from your sleep schedule. Sorry. So
No problem.
yeah. As for me, I've just been, actually I was a little bit under the weather this week, so I didn't stream a lot, but I did play a lot of, one day out of that week, I did play some, Marvel Avengers. I had the goal to beat Marvel Avengers this week because, next week is Returnal, and I totally forgot about Nier, so I definitely was going to do Nier Replicant, but that's on my to playlist now, but it's going to happen. But yeah, so like I'm gonna go ham on Marvel next week, but I've been trying to relax as much as I can, but I got some stuff in the works that I'm actually happy about seeing. So let's get this, but let's get this party started. So I know no one wants to be listening to me, finding out what my Twitch schedule is going to be like. So let's go through the normal rigmarole that we normally do. Each of us picks a new topic of discussion with video games from the previous week. And the topic would or could be about a specific game or something that happened in the gaming industry. And we don't want to talk about it amongst ourselves. We want you, the listeners, on Twitch, on YouTube, and on Facebook Live, Facebook Gaming Live, to be a part of the conversation. So definitely, if there's something that you're wanting to add into our conversation, just type it inside the chat. We will see it, check it out, and we will definitely add it in here. So let's get this party started. Let's have our guest Kallista be the first pick. So what do you have what do you have on the table, Kallista?
Okay, y'all know Overwatch, right?
No.
What?
Never heard of it.
Come on.
I am not a Lucio main. Nope.
Listen, I'm a Diva main. Back in the day when I used to play Overwatch, I was a Diva main. But that's not what I'm trying to talk about. I want y'all to know that Jeff Kaplan has officially left Blizzard Entertainment. He's gone. Not many people are left of the original, I guess, cast of Overwatch, which Overwatch came out in May 2016?
Yeah.
I think.
Wow, it's been 5 years. Oh my God.
2016. I was all over this game because one, I think I saw like a really early trailer of Overwatch. But yeah, Jeff is gone. Do y'all not understand how big of a loss that is for Blizzard? Like, do y'all not remember those? How long did he 12 hours of just sitting there with the the Christmas Yule or log or whatever? Jeff, we just sat there completely silent, not saying anything. And I mean, he had cookies and things. Listen, the Yule log was the best meme thing that they could come up with. But we don't have that anymore because he's gone. Which is crazy because Michael Chu, who was one of the original writers for Overwatch, he left last year in March. So I'm just like, wow, what does this mean for Overwatch? Because as you know, Overwatch is just a first-person shooter. There's a little bit of story to it if you squint and, pay attention to the comics and some of the things that they put out. But there was a lot of talk about Overwatch 2, but now what does that mean? Because Jeff is gone. What's going to happen with that?
Man, well, I mean, to me, Blizzard is a shell of the company that it's been just getting worse and worse for Blizzard. Every time you've heard, anything that you hear that's coming out on Blizzard, it just feels like, wow, this is not the Blizzard that you grew up on, So, I just think that overall, Jeff Kaplan is a huge blow because I mean, that is basically, he was Overwatch. I mean, you definitely saw the love of what he put inside this IP, especially what's even crazier because the pivot that they did to make Overwatch is amazing. Cause originally Overwatch was initially supposed to be the predecessor, the next step past WoW. It was originally going to be an MMO. And then they used the engine and then made their own story for Overwatch. And I was just like, wow, to do something like that, is pretty magical. And now, since you're losing the backbone of this thing that was once created, is very concerning. But at the same time, like the sequel that they were planning on doing, and like when Overwatch 2 was going to come out, I didn't really have very high hype in any way, because like you could only do the PvP formula like once, and then like that's and then maybe add some special rounds and stuff to it. I mean, the only so I don't think that they're going to be hurting in that aspect, but I think like creativity or the story that they were trying to do or trying to pull is where it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt them the most, you know? So, I mean, but that's where I feel it's with Jeff Kaplan and being gone for this. But like, what about you? What about you, Lex?
2016 was a really hard year for me, and like Overwatch honestly kept me going. I like rekindled my friendship with Smitty because he and I used to play sports together, and then I got really sick. And that was my fourth brain surgery, 2016. Yes, my fourth one. Like, and that was like the roughest one, and I had nobody here to really help me, and so I played games all day to, you know, I had a friend who essentially was living with me, and they'd like leave me a lunch of snacks. They're like, if you can get some of this down, try. I'm like, yeah, probably not. And I would just play Overwatch all day. And Kaplan leaving kind of puts like a little hole in my heart. I haven't played Overwatch that much in the last like 2 years. I felt like it was getting stale for me, and I wasn't loving it as much. And also being a girl in the gaming space, and also then adding streaming to that, it became this beast that I didn't care for anymore. And I didn't want to hate Overwatch, because it's not Overwatch's fault. It's the people who were saying the things to me. And Kaplan leaving is kind of like my last, that was like the little thread that kept me like, oh, I'm kind of excited for Overwatch too. And then there he was like, I'm gone. I'm like, psh, bye.
Are you discouraged to say that, like, would that make you not want to play the sequel, Overwatch 2?
I don't know. Well, I don't think it'll stop me. I think listening to Jeff Kaplan and the way that he was so passionate about the game, and how much effort and love that he genuinely put into it, I feel, you know, he's only one person. Obviously, it's a whole team that's working behind it. You know, one person can't do everything. That's just how it works, especially in this industry. It's hundreds of people working on it. But the way that he was so passionate about it, and I think knowing that Overwatch 2 isn't finished and he's leaving, I don't know what that really means for it. And I guess like I'm just kind of watching. And like you said, Blizzard's kind of turned into a shell of what it was. Nothing that they've done in the last like 4 years has really been that interesting to me. You know, that like they've put out some like new not play styles. They put out a few new characters, cool. They put out new skins, okay, cool. But like, you know, some of the storylines that they put out for like the special events, I really enjoyed that. But then getting a group of like just 3 people and myself to play and actually enjoy it was kind of like pulling teeth. So it was like, well, I don't want to play with randos, because we all know how that ends for a female, if you say a word.
But like overall though, like, I mean, like, what about you, Kay, though? I mean, like for you, theoretically, it's not, well, I mean, Overwatch is a 5-year-old game. Theoretically, it's a game that's been out for a bit, you know, and I can understand people's fatigue on the game like that will definitely hit. But like, were you planning on trying Overwatch 2 when it was coming out? And like, because Jeff Kaplan's leaving, does that discourage you on trying it when it comes out?
Honestly, I burned out on Overwatch very quickly, like maybe within like the first 2 or 3 years. And that's because it was very repetitive, and there was no like, I'm a person who really,
story,
I guess, it was boring. There was no character development. There was no backstory. There was no like relationship to people until like later. You had to read the comics that came out every once in a while. Like they didn't have any of that. And that's honestly why I lost some of my interest in Overwatch. But at the same time, me losing my interest in Overwatch kind of pushed me into the fandom. So I was heavily in the Overwatch fandom, like a little bit too much.
Actually, I found it very, very little too much. You have like a Diva Secret Labs chair right now for crying out loud. But I'm just, the what?
I know I have Diva chair, I have hoodies, I cosplayed as Diva, I have a mask, I have an original character I made for the Overwatch fandom, I have this beast of a fan fiction I'm writing, and it was all because there was no like character development, no story development in the Overwatch game. So I'm hoping that from like what I've seen Overwatch 2, granted, I know that Jeff is going to be gone, but he says that the game Overwatch 2 is in good hands of his, I guess, co-director who is now in charge of Overwatch 2, Aaron Keller, I believe that's his name. Mm-hmm. I'm hoping that they give us what everyone's been asking for. When I say everyone, I mean like the fandom. Give us these character interactions, give us the story. Yes, I know that Overwatch is primarily a first-person shooter, but we need just more than that. Like, we need more than that. And I hope that Overwatch 2 is able to give us that and, bring back the interest into Overwatch. It just sucks that they had to make a completely different game and not not be able to add this in to the original.
It feels weird to me because like it's funny that you mentioned about like how it was kind of one dimensional when it came to story. And to answer what second sorry if I butchered your name, Second Ubley says, is he retiring or is he leaving the company? He's leaving the company. Mm-hmm. As far as we know, he's leaving the company. He didn't say that he was retiring from gaming itself. So he's gone. But like it is kind of weird on how Overwatch's approach was because like you said, the game itself is very PvP. It's shooting. It's team based. You have to go do different kinds of objectives to kind of get what you're wanting to do, and things like that. And then if you're wanting to get the story side of the things, it's like it's off screen from what you're playing. Like you have to watch it. You have to read it in the comic books. You have to watch the video shorts. You have to make sure, keep up with like the forum stuff like that. And people can leave their imaginations, like you're saying, you're making a fan fiction and stuff, of it. But like you have to leave it open to interpretation. And I think that's why I find very weird. But at the same time, I think I kind of find that very original for the kind of game that this is. Cause this is something that if they have that kind of backstory, they can improve on that, which I was assuming that's what they were going to do with Overwatch 2, right? Like,
supposedly.
Yeah. Okay. So with the PvE and stuff. So what kind of gets to me to be like saying, I don't know if I would want to try it, is the fact that Kaplan isn't spearheading it anymore because Kaplan had a vision and now the vision is going to be, even though it's the co-director, the co-director is now in charge of it. It's not going to be, I don't think it's going to be fully Kaplan's initial vision. Regardless of any way. Yeah. So like, that's where I'm a little worried, especially how Blizzard has been kind of going more and more under the wing of Activision as of late for the past several years. It's like, I don't know if I could trust them as much as I can throw them now,
Mm-hmm. I agree. I feel like, I'm worried that like what they've shown us of Overwatch 2 and what we're actually going to get is very different. Mm. And I'm trying not to get my hopes up because I genuinely loved Overwatch so much. And it got me through like a really rough time and I still like playing it. It's just, I've now switched from controller to PC and, with the competitive and like the algorithm, like it's so frustrating if you get stuck with people who think they know what they're doing. And then you realize 2 matches and you're like, oh, you don't know how to tank at all. And as a healer, like you're kind of dependent upon the other people. It's a team game. And if you don't work well as a team, you kind of get the short end of the stick. And it's, I don't know. I got frustrated, and I don't want to be disappointed with Overwatch 2. But like you said, I mean, when you have a vision, creating that, it sometimes changes as it's created, and that's fine. It can turn into a different type of beast. But I think that once Kaplan leaves, with like all of the Activision stuff, I feel like it's just going to be like, oh, it's not finished. Just throw it out there. It's fine.
You know what's funny? Like Donk says here, because I know Donk isn't a fan of Overwatch himself. But like overall, he says, I don't think that's fair because Overwatch has a hodgepodge that Kaplan kind of fixed up, but I don't think it was a vision. And initially it wasn't, but like when they decided to make it a game, they had to have been a certain direction that they were wanting to go with. Cause I mean, like I said earlier, this game was initially was basically built off of an engine that was supposed to be meant for something else completely.
For a while,
yeah. So I think that like, he definitely helped with the progression of it. And I'm kind of on the boat with you too. I personally am not a big Overwatch fan myself either. But at the same time though, I think that what they did for like look at when you think about it, like $60, for $60, you bought the game fully, and we didn't have to pay a cent. The only cent that you had to pay was if you wanted to pay for the extra, accessories and stuff. But since then, they added almost 25 new characters, like 25 new characters, 4 new stages and stuff like that. They were just keeping up with the deal at the same time, keeping up with the lore that was being built on top of a base game that was started from something else. I mean, I think you kind of have to give us some sort of credit towards that. is where I kind of land, But yeah. So I mean, but that was pretty cool.
It's repetitive.
Were you gonna say something, Kay? I wasn't really sure.
No, I wasn't gonna say anything. Nope, not at all.
I'm like, you sound like you're about to say something. Like, you're sure, but it's like, okay, there you go.
I'm gonna stop.
Okay, cool. All right, well, that's a good topic. I really do it. And also, we'll see where he's gonna. I'm looking forward to seeing where Jeff Kaplan's gonna end up, or if he's gonna make his own studio. I hope he makes something. Like, he's too good of a dude to deal with it. Oh, I'm not discrediting what they built. Oh no, yeah, I don't think you were discrediting what they built itself at all. I'm just saying, like, I just think that in this situation, because this wasn't his. You're right. I agree that you're right, that it wasn't his dream child to make Overwatch, because it was not. but I think that it was like his process of doing it, but to do it. But no, I know where you're coming from, Don. That's cool. Okay, cool. Well, that was a good discussion. Thanks, Kay. Thanks for that.
More information on Blackwatch, please. I need to know more about Reaper or Gabriel Reyes. Please. I'm gonna cry. Okay.
They're gonna email. They're gonna be like, "Dear Kallista,
listen,
no.
I'm gonna send in my 45 chapter fan fiction and say, here, I made lore for you.
I made the script."
Anyway,
no, that's funny. That is very true. But what about you, Lex? What do you have cooking on your table?
So I have an interesting topic. I mean, we all know that I'm slowly but surely becoming fully a robot at this point. Sony put in a patent, and it's for kind of a helping hand. So essentially, what it would do is for people who were playing on the PS5, this AI would watch. And so everyone has their own unique play styles. And the AI would watch and learn your play style. And let's say you needed to use the restroom and you couldn't pause a fight. The AI could take over for you. Or maybe you really didn't like taking those photos in Spider-Man. The AI could do that while you're sleeping. I hate
let that go.
I don't talk about it. Don't make me take photos. Anyways, sorry, LB. She's like, what? So, or like maybe there's like weird grindy stuff that you just don't have time to do because we're adults. And unfortunately, sometimes we have to adult when we don't freaking want to, but you need to get those grindy parts done. Well, guess what? This AI may possibly be able to do that for you. Now, Is this going to come to fruition? We do not know. They did put the patent on it. Obviously, this is kind of, hit or miss. Like, you either think this is really cool or you're one of those people that's like, no, every part of the game is part of the game and I have to finish it myself. And I totally get that. According to the patent, a default play profile could be assigned to a user, and initially the AI would simulate generic human behavior. Over time, however, by monitoring a plurality of gameplays of the user playing a plurality of gaming applications, the AI could customize the user's profile and start to behave more like the specific player it's been studying. So you could just sit back, eat your plate of food while you're streaming, and essentially your PlayStation would be playing the game for you. The idea is that once your AI profile is fairly reliable, it would be able to replicate your behavior and so on and so forth. Go make your dinner, go to the restroom, and don't worry, it's playing for you and doing things that it knows the decisions you would make, essentially. So is this going to come to fruition? We don't know. They did put the patent down. I was just curious because I know what Davis is going to say. I'm honestly curious more about what our community thinks. Because, I joke with Smitty all the time, give me $20 and I'll play games for you. Because he's so busy, like, we just don't have the time, right? But there's so many things that we do want to finish and accomplish. And this could possibly help people. Or for people like me, it kind of just dawned on me. Like, for instance, we were playing Little Nightmares, and you have to touch the TV, and the shaking and the white, the flashing. I was having seizures after stream and during. I could have the AI take over for me. Like, are you kidding me? That would be so helpful. I'd be like, excuse me, AI, please fix this part for me because I cannot. And it would break down because essentially I was screaming like, Adam, your turn, because like I couldn't do it. And, that would be kind of cool, at least for me in that aspect. Or the photo taking. I hate taking photos. Other than that,
just let it go. It's been 3 years.
And I still haven't finished it.
Dog, just like Dog's reply says, "Will it talk crap and troll in chat? Because if not, it can't replicate me. No one can replicate you, Dog. I know that. But what do you think, Kallista? What do you think about this?
I think that sounds interesting. The only thing is I don't know how I feel about AI watching my play style, and I don't know if this goes back to, I don't know, this is a really weird connection, but this is what I'm connecting it to. Left 4 Dead in the game, watching how much you are shooting, or while, like, I think it's Left 4 Dead 2, like how you're shooting and how much ammo are you wasting? Are you like freaking out, or are you more like focused? That's what that reminds me of. Don't ask me why, but that's what that reminds me of. But at the same time, when Lex said grinding, I'm just like, you caught my attention and I am partially sold because I hate grinding when I'm on stream. That is the absolute worst thing ever.
See, why do you grind on stream though? Well, can't you just grind off of stream and then just be like,
she has a day job. What do you think? She cloned herself and she's in the other room fixing it for you and cooking you dinner? Excuse me.
Okay, sometimes I can do that, but not always. Sometimes my naps aren't 3 hours. Sometimes they're like 12 hours. So I lose that time, but I think that'd be really cool. I think it'd be helpful for people that do have like some issues, like Lex said, the specific part in Little Nightmares, or if they're not able to like get over some type of obstacle, like the game could do that for them. Yes, second Grandia 3, but I beat it. But anyway, I think it's an interesting idea, and I would like to see more of it, to see like how well they can actually hone it to your play style.
Well, I
don't make bad mistakes, that's for sure.
Well, the real question is like, so if you're a bad gamer, will the AI be
AI? Yeah.
Would the AI be bad too on top of that,
Is it a bad gamer, or is it just your play style?
Your play style's bad. Like your playstyle's bad. Like let's say that you just don't know. Like you make it harder for you to do. Like for instance, like turn based is easy to miss simple things, and then like or action or shooting and stuff. You're not good at what you do. Like is that going to reflect off of your AI? Your AI to be like, wow, this AI is just stupid or something like, I'm not saying calling you stupid, but I'm just saying the AI isn't really doing very well for me, you know? Yeah. Like, I'm just saying that like, and certain, I don't know. Like, I kind of feel in certain situations, I'm not going to say it's a black and gray, like, you know, open, close kind of thing. Cause like in certain situations, like you were saying, cause I know people have epilepsy. They obviously can't do certain pieces of a game because it's going to cause like an epileptic moment and stuff. But like, to say that you're going to depend on it to grind is like a little too extreme to me, is what I'm saying. It's like you got to take the good with the bad. Yeah.
It's not extreme.
Yeah, this is extreme.
Let me play devil's advocate though, because I have heard you say for like Monster Hunter World, you were like, God, I have to grind and I hate having to do this part and yada, 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 yada. What if it could do that for you? And now you have the 12 parts that you were missing. Oh,
I still wouldn't do it because
well then you don't have to.
No, here's the reason, and here's the reason why. I was bitching and moaning about Monster Hunter World because the way that they progressed, like all I wanted to do was fight monsters. And like I would, but Monster Hunter World had a way of just being like, oh, you have to hunt this. You have to hunt the monster. Like here you go, find the tracking marks and stuff, and then leave to go to a different zone to fight the monster. And then and then with the PS4, loading times were atrocious. And so like I was just like, I hated waiting. I was impatient. But like I would never tell AI to be like, oh crap, I have to go find these hunting marks. Hey AI, take care of that for me. While I, I don't know, eat a sandwich or something. Yeah. But so I'm just saying that like I go by the mentality that of taking the good with the bad with the game. So like, if you have to grind, you have to grind. You have to do the time to do it, Kallista. but I'm just saying.
Listen, if I can avoid it, like I will do it in like Persona or any SMT or any other RPGs. But Grandia 3 was the last straw. Okay,
Grandia 3 specifically was it? Okay, like I said, you actually beat Grandia, so you have a leg to stand on that. I didn't beat 3 because I was like, this game is stupid. But
got him.
Like I would do it myself. I just got lost interest because this game was not good. I mean, it was just not a good game. But like when it comes to AI to say, okay, I need to finish these parts and stuff, let them do the monotonous tasks and stuff. It's like, no, it's not the same. It's not the same kind of thing. It's like, what's the point of playing the game if you're going to try to have AI to play the game for you? Is where I come with it. I think at a handicap level, it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense for me. Like accessibility level, it makes sense. But to say that I would trust it, it's very interesting to me. I mean,
I almost want to say that the whole reason that they were creating this in the first place was for accessibility. Like I've talked about before, like texting was never meant for us. It's for
blind,
deaf people
or deaf. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but then there's like other things. Like I use, like my phone talks to me a lot because I can't see a lot of things on my phone because there's apps for some reason don't have a dark mode, and when they do, it's white text and I can't see that. So, I think that the capabilities, like I want to play Visage so bad and I can't. And if this was something where I could put sunglasses on and sit here and like go through and have it take over for me with the parts that I have to turn my head, or like, I mean, there's literally been games that like I've cried because I want to play so bad to Duz, and it's like, it's so silly. Like, I feel like I'm being left, and it's like, I've never had FOMO before, and there's a few games that I really want to play, and Visage is just, if I don't play that, I don't really care. But as an example, because if you've seen it, it's very like the lights turn off and then the TV's like staticky and all of that a lot, and then flashing like hallway lights and things like that. And it's like the rhythm that they have it at is like the perfect to just set somebody off.
Yeah,
and and it's just frustrating, like, and more and more games are like that. Like, I can't play Cyberpunk, can't play it. And Dust was like, well, there's a sound cue and maybe you could turn your head. And it's like, well, that's not fair, Also, Little Nightmares did not have a seizure warning at all for the second game. Just putting that out there.
Oh, the
that was
second
not
game,
fun.
that's weird. The first game had the seizure warning, but the second one didn't
have the nope.
That's really weird.
No, not at all.
Retrovania put inside the chat, like everyone else could say, says that my wonder is if the AI is good enough to beat bosses in games, so you don't choke at the last minute. And to me, that's training wheels, man. You can't deal with that. Like, it's like, even if they made it that good and you do it, I would not give, me personally would not give you the respect to say like that you beat that boss.
No,
like if Kallista decided to beat the Reaper inside the subway by that AI mode, I'll be like, Kallista, you didn't do jack.
You're right, I didn't.
Well, also though, how long has the AI been watching her? How long has it predicted her movements? And 3, I mean, if it's predicting her movements, I mean, for me, there are games where like I lose 5 times in a row for one section, and it'll take me a minute because whatever reason, because I don't see well and I suck at life. But I'm a robot and I'm not fully there yet. I'll be a Data one day. Okay, I will.
Don't you ever
until
do that,
then.
please.
Oh, I would love to be Data. That'd be great. I'd be more like a lore, but I'm a nerd. Hi. I think, the capabilities for like people with like me with disabilities, because there's not a lot of like, I'm not colorblind, so I don't have those options, and it's like, well, I don't know. I don't know. I think it might be cool. Again, we don't even know if this is going to be made. It's possible that it won't be made. Yeah, it's a patent. And there are hundreds of patents are put in every day and by big companies. This is just one that kind of like got caught by like Tech Radar. And so they thought it was intriguing. I thought it was intriguing. I think AI is really cool because of the capabilities that it could have.
Do you know what it reminds me of when I think about it with this with this AI? You remember, I don't know, Kallista, if you played Final Fantasy 12, isn't it? Ugh. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, 13. It's Final Fantasy 13. Jesus. Yeah.
Final Fantasy 13.
Yeah. The Gambit system. You remember the Gambit system? Like yeah. So basically, what it was is that it was basically, you gave your people, because you didn't have control of your whole crew, but you had your people to do certain things. So they gave you, it was like if you do this, then it does this. So like you had to say, yeah. So it's like, so he says, if your health was at 50%, you will heal with cure 2 or something like that. Very specific statements and stuff that you put on the list of a person. You have like 20 commands that you tell that person. So it's a very crude, rudimentary version of computer assistance when you're doing fighting. Like, that's the kind of thing, but if you get the right commands, because you have to earn some of these commands, you basically could walk out of your game while the fight was happening, let the computer do it for you, and then just come back and just say, okay, cool. It could beat bosses if you did it correctly. And I was like, this game is broken, and I did not like this game, despite the fact that the story was terrible. But that's a whole different story. But like, I'm just saying that like it's, yeah. So that's the thing I'm kind of thinking of with AI with the in this mark. If they keep it at a level of like, accessibility for certain things to allow people who can't naturally get to it, makes sense to me. That would make the most sense to me. Like I said, like epilepsy is a very big one. People who don't have full motor skills in certain ways for certain things, but like, I would never trust it to be like, okay, let me go trust it. Like, you're streaming and then you let AI just take the wheel for a little bit and then you just be talking and stuff like that,
Well,
So,
and like
yeah.
I've had times where like I have like my hand will lock up for like a day or two, and that would be really convenient if the AI could be my mouse for me. Like it's watched me all this time. You do the mouse, I'll do like my WASD and like shift and crouch, jump, whatever. Just be my mouse for me, because I've had days where like I'm streaming and I'm playing like this with my thumb and I'm just smashing my mouse like a doofus, but that's what I have to do. And I just think for accessibility it would be really cool. I think people will use it in the way that Tech Radar is talking about, but also I don't think it will be better than what you are at your best at your playing level. So I think that's where the peak.
At least that's what we like to think so, because like I said, this is all theoretic. This is all theoretical.
Yeah, it's theoretical, but I just thought it was interesting, and I was curious what you guys would think.
That's cool. I like that though. That's a pretty cool one. All right, so
what about you, buddy?
Final one is we're going to talk about a game that I have loved. It's in one of my top 10 forever because I grew up with it. Ooh. And we're going to talk about Metal Gear Solid. So, so Metal Gear Solid has been forever. Like everyone has been wanting, hey, we want a remake of the first one, of Metal Gear Solid 1. We like a lot of people have been pushing to see, hey, we want to see a Metal Gear Solid remake as well. There was now Metal Gear Solid, the original Metal Gear Solid came out on the PlayStation, the first PlayStation back in 1997, I believe. I want to say 97, 98. And to no one's surprise, it was highly praised, had a large amount of acclaim to it, especially it's one of Hideo Kojima's greatest series that he's made. So now, since the first Metal Gear Solid, there was only one remake that happened, and it was back in 2003 called Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes. And the game kind of upgraded the graphics from Metal Gear Solid 1 to more like a in between of 2 and 3, which made it look a lot nicer, a lot crisper. But the only way to play it was on Nintendo GameCube, because Nintendo was the company that made it on that system. So since then, nothing, until like there's small inklings that people have been wanting to push to have Konami make a newer version of it. And now it's just been bigger than ever. Well, so there's a small dude that came in this game named David Hayter. He is the original voice actor of Solid Snake in the Metal Gear Solid series. So basically the only voice actor besides Kiefer Sutherland, but no one talks about that. The Metal Gear Solid. So he was interviewed recently, and he says that there is a remake in the works of Metal Gear Solid that's coming, that's coming soon. Now, normally when I hear rumors about this, I always think that they're rumors and stuff like that, especially when you hear it on the internet and then and stuff like that. So you take it with a grain of salt. But if the original voice actor of Metal Gear Solid is already saying some stuff like that, the real question is this going to be real? So I was wondering if it is true, would you what would you think about a remake of the new Metal Gear Solid, a new Metal Gear Solid with like PS5 graphics and stuff like that?
Let's go! Let's go! That's how I feel.
Yes. So that's exactly what I said. Now, I was trying to find a video of the original Metal Gear Solid, but they were so fuzzy. It was so fuzzy. I was like, I didn't want to do this. So I had to get the 2003. This is how Twin Snakes look like. So this one looks so like
pretty.
Yeah, this is the first remake of the first one that came out on the GameCube. This is a really good game, by the way. So if you have a GameCube, I would say get this game if you can get it. God dang, dude. Like, if that is real, if that is a real thing that Konami's going to do, I will wholeheartedly come back to it and just say, I don't care that Konami's been garbage. Just give me a remake of this game. Give me a remake of this game, please. Yeah, because this is one of my favorite of all time, like a tactical espionage games out there. Have you ever played Metal Gear Solid, Lex?
Yes, I've played 2 of them. I don't remember which ones. It was in the hospital. This was 2014. So I think
it probably could have been 4.
I think I played 4, and I think I played 3.
So yeah, Snake Eater, possibly.
Because you were talking about it, and I'm like, oh yeah, I've totally played this. Or like maybe I've just seen someone else. No, I played it because I was in the hospital for like a month and a half, and like they would do this thing where comic characters would come and visit like little children, and I was in an ICU area with like where like little kids were, and so I got to play games, which is kind of nice because I can't move, and so I got to play Metal Gear Solid 4, and then I went back and played another one. I liked the storyline. I thought it was really cool. I know a lot of people really like it. I know Smitty will forever be trying to beat it.
Smitty, it will take Smitty to beat this game is going to be like 2028 when he actually finishes.
He's going to be on his deathbed and be like, I didn't do it.
Oh my god.
Kallista, you don't even know. So there was a bet between us. Well, it was originally between the 2 boys that he couldn't finish it before Extra Life, and that he would have to donate money. 5. Yeah, if he didn't beat it. And in the middle of the night, and he's in a different time zone. Me and Smitty are both in Vegas. He goes, I did it. I beat it. I suck on that. And, just talking trash. And then less than 5 minutes later, he goes, never mind. That was chapter 1. Okay.
It was like 2:00 in the morning.
I just heard like what? Wop, 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 wop. Yep. No, for me, it was 2:00 in the morning. For you, it was like 4 or 5. It was crazy. Late. But
yeah, so like I mean, like
why not? I mean, what else do they have to lose? I think that it would boost them in general because they haven't really been doing too much.
Konami don't need the money.
Noticed?
Well, the reason why Konami doesn't exist anymore is because they were losing money off of their gaming side. They don't, even though that these games were successful, it took a lot to make these games, and they felt that the profit that they were getting didn't match the process of getting it out there. So
the money to make it wasn't coming back to them essentially. Well,
they were getting the money, but it was like, let's say that they spent $20 million, but then they got 50 million. They didn't feel like that was enough for them to justify it. Because you don't want 2 times. You don't want 2 times. You want 3 or 4 times more than what you put in for this kind of thing. So eventually, and then with Hideo Kojima, he's a high spender. He's a high roller. He's definitely a high roller when it comes to these things. I mean, he made studios. Remember, like Studio Fox and stuff like that, like buildings and stuff like that was being made for his game. So, so he was a high spender. So it finally caught up to him, and then they were like saying, "Okay, we need to stop." Yeah, we need to stop because keep in mind, the same people who did Castlevania Symphony of the Night was the same dude. Like they let him go because of the same exact reason. So, but if they make but like this is the only exception. I'm fine for them to do it with, like, I will give them that pass. They need to make this game. What about you? What do you think, Kay?
So I have a question. Aren't voice actors supposed to sign like an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement?
Yes.
Wouldn't him saying that be a direct violation of that?
Unless he's not a part of it. That's the only thing I could think of. I mean, it'd be weird that
they're trying to see, maybe they asked him to tweet it out or whatever to see what the reaction would be is the only other thing, because you do have to sign an NDA. Yeah, absolutely. I've signed a bunch of
that's why I'm saying it's like that's why I'm not saying it's official they're making a remake, but more like, you know what, take it as a grain of salt. But now it's gotten me excited. It's like, you got my attention if this is real David Hayter. Because I mean, like, there's no reason why would he lie? I mean, that's the way I look at it. It's like, why would he?
What exactly did he say? Like 100%? Like what was the exact quote?
Pull up the article, because like I was like, what?
The other thing is that like he may or may not be a part of it, which I hope he is because he's the voice actor for that specific character.
Mm-hmm.
But him saying, like, tweeting something out to gauge the interest of people, I don't know if that's a good way to go about it, because I mean, you have people that are like diehard Metal Gear Solid fans, and then you have, for lack of a better term, like the casuals who may have played some of them, are not really into the story. I've never played a Metal Gear Solid game. I'm interested in it because I've watched another streamer play it, my ex-boyfriend play it, and like the storyline of it is just ridiculous.
Right.
That I don't know if that's a good way to judge the interest of the audience. Granted, we know, or I'm generalizing, but a lot of people may know, what's his name? David Hayter?
Hayter, yeah. Yeah, David Hayter.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
It's exciting news, but at the same time, I'm not really sure about it because, I mean, I forget the name of the guy who, he's not part of the marketing team, but he had a really big input for rival schools or something like that. And he was just like, let me know how you feel about rival schools and we'll consider remaking it. That was back in like 2014. No one really knew about the game. And so it's been like lost to time.
Right.
Yeah.
So
well, I mean, like, yeah, I know what you mean, but like, I'm not saying take his word for it, because don't take his word for it. You're right. I mean, there's a lot of little things like saying NDAs, all these different kinds of things. But the fact that I'm saying is that, like, dude, like, he was the original voice. He's saying it. Like, this is from the article itself from Cirrus Gaming. He said this. There was a 2-hour video discussing a lot of things like gaming TV. Oh, it was a 2-hour video of a guy interviewing him for 2 hours about just all random things. So at the 45-minute mark, the host started asking Hayter if he was able to still retain his voice of Solid Snake when he was younger, since it's changed as the hero got older. The voice actor easily brought it out to his younger version voice of Solid Snake. After that part, Dan Allen Gaming mentioned that there was this rumor that MGS games are going to be remade, as it's reported by Cirrus Gaming 2 days ago. Hayter then confirmed that his trusted insider shared to him that a remake is indeed coming, but he does not know when it will be announced. So he says that there is a remake that's in the works, but he doesn't know when it's coming out. But like, I mean, but still at the same time, I'm like,
he hasn't signed anything yet, so that he's not even on that project. If he's saying that that's a rumor that he's heard,
why would you not?
Great,
yeah, but why would you not sign him though?
Well, yeah, I mean, it depends on how early you are in the process of making a game. Like, it's kind of, it depends on also like what type of voiceover they do. Sometimes they have the script, right? And then they're building the game around it without any voice to it. So then they make the mouth movements to what they feel it would be like, and then they kind of edit later. Same with cartoons, essentially. But also, because they're going to make it probably in a bunch of different languages as well. I would assume
it's still the process of it is like still saying, I mean, like, you're going to make a game, you know, you're going to be making the game. You're still not, I mean, even though you're going to be signing an NDA and stuff, it wouldn't matter. I mean, they know that the game is being made. They're not going to just say like when it's
he said he heard a
the process
rumor.
Of it. No,
from
the guy who
source.
The guy who was interviewing him said that he heard the rumor. He himself said that they were making a remake. They were making remakes.
Wow.
Like, so I was like, that is kind of weird that you're so forthcoming on it. But at the same time, it's like, that's going to be crazy if it isn't.
And Konami's not come out and denied it or anything like that. So I mean, I would assume then, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know. That seems a
very
little
shaky.
odd.
very shaky all around, but still.
Also, there's so much hype behind, and there's so many people that love that game. Even people who I know who aren't like avid everyday gamers like we are, who really enjoyed that series.
Yeah,
I think like, why not? Like it's nostalgia for so many people, and then also people who know the later games. That's bringing them back into the original story. So why not? Like, what, you don't have anything to lose. It's a win-win. I feel like for them.
That's supposed to be really cheap on the.
Who am I?
The remake.
What do I know? Yeah.
Yeah. Unless they're going to do what they did with Final Fantasy, which they basically just decided when they did the remake of Final Fantasy VII. It's just like, my God. They decided
They needed to make that. It's been too long. But also, just like with how Capcom is remaking Resident Evil games. I mean, you have diehard Resident Evil fans, and then you have like newer ones that, I played Resident Evil 2 remake. I want to know what the other ones are like. Or Resident Evil 8 is coming out. What about the other games? What's going on with those? Let me go back and look at that. So like Lex said, it's like a win-win situation for them and us. Also, they need to do something about Silent Hill, but that's a different conversation.
Well, we know that that's never going to come back again, unfortunately, unless Konami comes back. Master R50 says, I'm definitely not watching an MGS main games marathon for the 58th time right now. You never say never, my dudes. I'm telling you, it's like, if it's going to be a good game, if it's going to be a remake of this, of the original, oh God, I don't know. I will break that game. I would love playing that game forever. But but we'll see. We'll definitely see. It was really fun. It was really, really a fun one to deal with. Lex, what do you have planned for the week?
Good question. I have no clue what we're playing tomorrow. I'm gonna have to go shopping through my.
I have no idea.
Through my wish list, because Monday, Wednesday, I usually play a solo horror game by myself, and I've kind of I beat everything, so I need to go through my wish list and see what I want to play. But of course, we'll have community games on Tuesdays. We've been playing like HSH Home Sweet Home Survive, which is really cool. So it's kind of like Dead by Daylight, but I can whack that monster with a stick, and it's nice, and it makes me feel so good. It's really cool, and I think it's pretty fun. I think that they've got something there. It's still in early stages, so wait times suck. But yeah, I was really excited to play It Takes Two again with Ducky, and I was so sad to hear that he wasn't feeling well, and like his health comes first. So hopefully we'll get to play this week. I enjoy collabing with my friends, and I think, it's because pew pews are fine. I suck. We can laugh at me all day long. I'm great at the horror games. But I'm good at collaborative games, and I'm good at call outs because of Overwatch. Thank you. Overwatch, you're welcome, they say. I like playing games like that, especially when it's fast paced, because like he's the male character. I was like, you can be the female character, I don't care. But he throws the nails, and it's like, oh, I can see where like the positionings are. I'm like, oh, get him, and then stand on it and I'll smack it, and you go, and it's a lot of fun. So I'm excited for next week. But yeah, I have no clue we're playing tomorrow, so don't ask.
Nice.
I mean, wait, it's Saturday. I don't know what we're playing Monday. It's Sunday? Okay. No, it's not.
No. I thought you meant tomorrow.
Don't freak me.
Today was Saturday.
Oh my
All right. Kallista, what are your plans for the week?
Oh my gosh. Okay. So I just kind of finished up a big cosplay project, because I'm also a cosplayer as well. But tomorrow, Sundays, let me just say Sundays, I'm going to be playing Persona 5 Royale. I believe I am on the third palace, somewhere in there. I will be playing that, and then because I'm a weekend streamer, I don't stream until Saturday and Sunday. So next week, Saturday, I'm going to start the visual novel, thriller, horror, whatever you want to call it, Danganronpa for the second time, which I'm not really excited for, because
the first one, or did you ever play all of them?
I've played all of them except for Ultra Despair Girls. Okay. The second Danganronpa game messed me up. I was questioning life. I was depressed. I was just like, what is this? It wasn't that extreme, but we'll be playing Danganronpa next week, Saturday, and Persona 5 Royale on Sunday.
Okay, well, that's awesome. That's cool.
What about you, Davis?
Yeah,
right.
what you doing?
I am going to go back to streaming on the Monday through Friday, because I actually try to keep my weekends open and do it reverse. So Monday through Wednesday, I'm going to try to play and finish up Marvel Avengers this week. Friday, I'm definitely going to wait. What's Friday? Is Friday the 30th? I'm going to make sure. Yeah, Friday's the 30th.
Yes.
So on Friday, I'm going to be playing start up Returnal. The first PS5 game that was meant specifically for the PS5. So I'm definitely going to be playing that. And then, we're going to be playing, and on Thursday, we're going to, try out some Nier Replicant. So, definitely going to be, playing, got that set up. Only play for about 3 hours. So it's usually around 11 o'clock to 2 p.m. But definitely check us out. We're always there, just messing around. So, there you go. So, guys, thank you so much for watching the CFG GameCast episode number 89. Thank you for being a part of the conversation as always. I'd like to give a big thanks for Kallista. She did an awesome job hosting for Smitty. We should replace Smitty with Kallista.
Wow.
Got that, Smitty?
I'm ready to
Wow, is that how y'all treat it?
That's exactly how we treat it. I was kidding. I'm just kidding.
I'm telling.
I didn't say it.
Oh, okay. But anyway, we will definitely be back again next week with the original crew on the beginning of May. Wow, it's gonna be May next week. That's crazy.
It's gonna be May. I know.
I can't hear you.
Oh, you're right. It's because I was burping. Yeah. It's gonna be May. I can't believe it.
Yeah, it's really, really ridiculous.
Because next weekend is Greek Easter, and then my birthday.
Yeah. So. Oh my goodness. But yeah, we'll be back again next week, normal time, with the normal crew. If you want to check it out, if you missed the episode today, that is okay. We release it on podcast services on Mondays with Apple, Google Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, and so on. Or you could go to our main website Monday morning, confreaksandgeeks.com to check it out. So guys, this is Davis, Lex, and Kallista signing off. Y'all take it easy.
Bye.